Here we have a rib. We can see about 25 people on it. This boat, yes, I can. A French naval vessel called Hermorvan shadowed this boat all the way through French waters, keeping very close to it all the way. They've now got over the line into England. The French naval vessel has dumped them, and here they are. It would appear their engine has broken down. Now, whether they've run out of fuel or it's an engine failure, I don't know. It is a very calm day, so Border Force are on their way, but Border Force have been overwhelmed this morning. A huge number of boats again today. We even found a vessel a few minutes ago with 13 people in it with no engine. 13 people simply with oars. So this is completely off the scale. These people here are in no danger. Border Force will be with them in 10 or 15 minutes. But we're looking again, I would quite confidently predict, at hundreds of people again today coming through the port of Dover illegally.
That is extraordinary. And looking at the boats with no engine, that whilst it's a clear day today, if the weather turns and the sea gets rougher, that is a real danger for those poor people stranded.
I'm very opposed to what's going on here, but if they want anything, they want water or whatever, we would certainly provide it for them. Of course we would, they're still human beings, but the problem is, this very interesting actually, this vessel, about 5 minutes ago, a very big tanker, came down the English Channel, not too far from them. I mean, it really is dangerous out here, and I've got a load of footage from all of this to show later on today. But here it is, this is the English Channel, July 2021, it's chaos, and the thing that really galls me is Priti Patel's agreed to give the French another £50 million to pay the French Navy to escort these boats into Britain, illegal boats into Britain. And I want Priti Patel to answer that question. Why are you giving money to the French for them to act as a taxi service into the UK?
I'm really sorry about the very long delay we seem to have. Of course, you are in the middle of the English Channel right now. But if I remember correctly, last summer you actually saved some people who got into a very sticky situation on a boat. Could you just remind us what went on there?
Yeah, that was horrible. That was in October, and I was out with a friend fishing, and we saw a small kayak. I mean, it couldn't have cost more than 50 quid. There were two guys in it. One had given up. I mean, literally just lying there and in the early stages, I think, of exposure. And as we approached them, the one that was still a bit more active got up and got excited. The boat capsized. So we had two men in the water, and it was a horrible situation. And I remember grabbing the hands of one of these young lads, and he didn't have the strength to put his feet on the side. And I just couldn't. I hadn't got the strength to lift him over. Luckily, the other guy was a bit fitter, and we got him onto the deck, and with the help of a friend, I managed to get him on. But yeah, I mean, it was a really horrible situation, and I thought, actually, he wouldn't have lasted very long. Exposure can turn to hypothermia pretty quickly. It wasn't very nice. Obviously, we've got much warmer conditions at the moment, although the sea is still not that warm, but by September it will be, and we are not yet at peak crossings. Don't con yourself. This is not the peak. The peak will come in September, late September, if we get calm weather, when the sea temperature is at its highest. So it's been 1,000 in the last 3 days. It'll be hundreds more today. This is totally out of control. There is nothing Priti Patel has said that will make an ape of the difference. And frankly, all we're doing is paying the French to escort people into British waters. It is an outrage on that level. It really is.
Nigel, I just find it extraordinary that you can just take a boat out there into the middle of the channel and so readily, so quickly, so easily see boats of people coming over. That must speak to the numbers of people coming over. Is it really that easy to just spot those boats and I was going to say drive over to them. I think sail over to them would be the nautical term.
Oh, yeah. Oh. It would be. Yeah, I mean, last year on the big days, you'd get about 27 boats coming across. There tend to be fewer boats now. What we haven't yet seen today is one of the new mega boats. Now, there are now 11, I say there's about 25 on that. There are now mega 11-metre boats, and those boats are bringing up to 70 people. I'm told they're actually planning with traffickers to even go to 15 metres and perhaps get nearly up to 100 people on boats. So we're not getting 27 boats a day, we're getting fewer, but we're getting bigger boats with more people on them. And as I say, it's out of control. And just think about this. That boat behind me, They've all got life jackets. It's a pretty reasonably seaworthy rib. I mean, everyone there's paid about 5,000 quid to come on this trip, and you realise this is just huge money. You know, these trafficking gangs are literally making millions, and I think the boat we saw earlier that had no engine at all had simply been stolen because not everybody can afford to pay that huge amount of money.
You expect Border Force to come out and escort this boat back to the English side. I suppose your policy preference would be that they escort that boat back to the French side. Do you believe that there's any prospect of that happening at all in the future?
Well, first things first, why are the French, you know, when we're giving all this money to France to stop these crossings, which they promised us, why the hell are the French Navy escorting vessels like this from literally just off the French shore? And interestingly, these boats, I mean, this boat took off from Calais, Dunkirk area. I don't know exactly, but it's Calais, Dunkirk area in the middle of the day. I mean, it was light when this boat, I mean, are you telling me the French police can't stop this from happening? I think they can. So, number one, the Navy should not be escorting them. Number two, Border Force and the RNLI have become nothing more than a taxi service. And if you want to stop this, the only way to do it is to turn these boats around and gently tow them back to France. And if you do that, the boats will stop coming. That's what happened in Australia. But to do that would, of course, provoke international condemnation and would need a Prime Minister with a real backbone. I can't see this stopping. I genuinely can't. And I think, I said before I thought 20,000 would come this year. I now think it could even be 30.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.